Okay, we're now gonna look at how to put forms into your web page. But just before we do that, it's getting a little messy here, so I'm gonna delete all the content from the body and start again. You might want to create a new file if you want to keep all the content you created. It's up to you. So forms are extremely useful things. We can't do much with them at the moment because you really need a server-side language such as PHP to actually process the form or do something with it. Even a bit of JavaScript will do it, but for the moment we will just learn how to put the forms in and we will learn other things later. So to define a form, we use a very simple keyword form. There are some options for the keyword, but we will look them later. As I said, we're not gonna actually do something at this stage, so it doesn't really matter. So for the moment, we will just uh, create our form. Now we are going to create a simplest form type, which is an input. So an input can be several different things, but the standard one is a text input. So we say input type is equal to text, and we just close it there. So for a moment, let's have a look. How does it look? Okay, pretty obvious. We can put some text in the field, but we can't do anything at the moment with it. So I'm gonna show you just some of other options or other things which we can do with this text field. We can set the value to something if we want. Maybe you want the value to be food. Save and refresh that. So it sets the value of text field to food. You might the thing is this food here, we have to delete that because we have set it as a value. But if you want that you don't have to uh, get rid of the text or delete it, you can use this placeholder. It will just put a faded color text. Okay. uh, uh, the next is there are also some other types of input. For example, type email, and you can use that to automatically validate an email address. So the browser will check to see if it's a valid email address or not before the form is submitted. There are another couple of input types. They are not important right now. You can read about them in the documentation which I'll provide later. But if you just want to carry on for the moment, you can Google them. I'm gonna put a couple of line breaks here, so that the elements of the form can be separated nicely. So sometimes you might want to get the user to type in larger areas of text, and you do that by using the text area tag, and then you put some content here and then you close it. It is not like the um, input type of text, and it is not self-closing. uh, Now we'll refresh, save and refresh. So there it is. You can also keep the content empty by just removing it from here. Now let's put another couple of line breaks. Okay, now we're going to look at the drop down box. In HTML language it will be called select. So use the select tag. Now we will put the options within the select tag using option tag. uh, Mostly the top one is select something, then one, two. I think these are enough. Okay, now we look at in the browser. There it is. We have got a drop down. Select something on top and then two other options. At this point I must say that you can do a lot more things with the form, but I'm missing out at this point just for the sake of simplicity. But don't worry about it, we'll cover all of that when we'll be looking into PHP. For the moment we are looking at the HTML part. Another type you might have seen is the radio option. uh, it's not going to play the music unfortunately, but it's gonna be a little circle to select as a particular option. For example, in choosing a favorite game, uh, input type is equal to radio. Euro Truck Simulator 2, and input type is equal to radio. Call of Duty. Usually when we are doing radio inputs we only want one of them to be selected, but in this case both are being selected. What we'll do is give them a name. uh, First of all, let me put some line breaks here. BR and BR, and now we'll give name to these options. Name is equal to game and name is equal to game. Now if we save it and refresh, now you can see you can select only one from these two. And what if you want to select things but more than once? We use the input type of checkbox. uh, this time we'll use food, like pizza and burger. Save it, refresh, and there we go. We can select as many as we like, and we can also deselect. Okay, so just one more for now, and that is a submit button. Every form needs a submit button to do something with it. It will be a input type of submit. uh, Save it and refresh. There it is. You might want to change the text on the button, and you can do that by giving it a value. This value of I'm a button clicking. There it is. If you click on submit now, nothing is happening, but if you notice, you will see a question mark at the end of index.html here in the URL. What's going on there? What we're actually doing is submitting the form. So when we click the submit button, that submits the form, and it submits it using a method known as get by default, which puts all of the variables from the form as a string at the end of the URL. Now why don't we have any values here? That's because I haven't told you about the name attribute. So let's give name to the fields. Uh, Name is equal to email. Name is equal to text area. Value is equal to fun. Value is equal to 2. And it already have the name tag. Name is equal to pizza and name is equal to if I submit the form now, you can see email and text area here, and they are empty because I haven't put anything in the empty fields. And let's try to do something. You can see email is equal to Ahmed percentage 40. This is actually character encoding, so that there is no issue with the URLs. So here is the email, this is the content of text area, hello. Then game is equal to on and pizza is equal to on. Why it is on, I'll talk about it later, but you can get the general idea that something was selected from game and pizza was selected, not the burger. That's as far as I can go for now, but you get the idea. So now, until we know a bit of JavaScript and PHP, we can't do much with the form. But don't worry about that. We'll do that once we get there. See you in the next video.